What is the next Yu-Gi-Oh meta after the April 15th forbidden list? My guy, I know I said April, but this is no joke. Today, I'm going to be covering the decks that got the strongest from the ban list and popular Yu-Gi-Oh decks that you need to know about because players will be playing them. So if you haven't already, I need you to do 3 simple things. Comment on what do you think some decks are going to be really strong after the ban list, like this video, and cop the merch. We're doing crazy numbers right now, but let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with y'all, big dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day is going phenomenal. But if it isn't, do not let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. As you guys already know, every single week we do Update Monday, a particular mini-series where we talk about not only becoming a better Yu-Gi-Oh player, but this transfers over into real life. You will become a better person. And today for Update Monday, I want to say something really important. Do not be afraid to go against the norm. Granted, there are always conventional and effective ways to be able to do something, but that does not mean you should not try anything unconventional or add a little bit of a wrinkle to it. Trying out things is how we get better as people. And even if what we try out doesn't wind up being the next hottest thing, we learn from that experience and become better people. And the cool thing about this is that this ties into exactly what's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Players are trying tons of different Yu-Gi-Oh decks. A lot of them just so happen to have obvious hype from the ban list. And let's be real, dog, there are some clear-cut winners and losers. Today, I'm going to be talking about the strategies that I think players are going to be playing the most. And I'll also be putting personal deck lists on my Patreon as a special thank you for helping me pay my editors. So let's go ahead and start off with the first strategy that I want to bring to your attention. Thunder Dragon. Thunder Dragon, my friend! Thunder Dragon is the deck that the boomers have been telling you about. Just one Thunder Dragon Colossus off of the ban list will completely change Yu-Gi-Oh! And unfortunately, they're right to a degree. So I heard Thunder Dragon is off the list. Huh? Hi, I'm Boomer Kelly. And in case you didn't know, the deck is 5 years old. So if you played during that format, you're a boomer too. Accept it.
Grandpa, are you talking about Thunder Dragon again?
Well, Sonny, I tell you what, back in my day, we got to play a card called Cold by the Grave. And when we played Cold by the Grave, I think Thunder Dragon has opportunities to be an insanely powerful Yu-Gi-Oh deck in the right hands. But it's the reason why I'm putting it at the beginning of this video instead of at the end. I have my reservations. Thunder Dragon's biggest strength is it being able to rely on gathering resources while playing cards. For example, monsters like Thunder Dragon Dark and Thunder Dragon Roar give you resources for just simply banishing them. And Thunder Dragon gives you light resources, meaning that Chaos cards and the Bystials are incredibly powerful. And its home run card, Thunder Dragon Hawk, gives you resources back to your field, but since you also activated a Thunder monster, being able to summon the newly off the list Thunder Dragon Colossus should be a breeze. You add a little bit more modern tech in it, and Thunder Dragons is making some insane boards. Ironically, Batteryman Solar plus any Bystial monster gets you at least 4 monsters on the side of the field just with those 2 cards. And also, since we got new synchro monsters like Bystial Dispatter and Chaos Angel, the deck is charged up to be able to summon some really powerful boards. I think that everything that the strategy does is really cool, but once players figure out that Thunder Dragon Colossus is the genuine reason why the deck is even being played right now, they'll start to try to tech Thunder Dragon into other strategies. Take, for example, Sprite, a more modernized Thunder Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Once players figure out all they had to do is activate a Thunder monster, they can get a Thunder Dragon Colossus. It's going to be a problem for this deck. Now, I'm not saying that Thunder Dragons is a terrible Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I'm coping over it too right now, but I do think that it is a strategy that we should have our reservations for, and we should look a little bit more towards result orientation rather than just back in the boomer days when this deck was really powerful. That's not going to stop me from saying that the deck is still really good. Just like how I think that Sky Strikers, another 2019 toss format deck, is also incredible. Sky Striker getting Sky Striker mobilized engaged to 3 is crazy strong. To put it into perspective, the last time that we had mobilized engaged to 3, Sky Striker was widely considered an okay deck. It's actually crazy because if you hear from people that did not play the format correctly, they will tell you Sky Striker is the most amazing deck. But ironically, the reason why Mobilize Engage went originally on the ban list was because it was too splashable. This is a huge boost to Sky Strikers, make no mistake. Sky Striker works on a tempo grind. It starts off fairly slow, but once it starts to resolve the secondary effects of the Sky Striker cards, your opponent can really be in trouble. You put that with powerful spells that have came out in the last 5 years, cards like Triple Tactics Talent, meaning that this deck can play upwards to 6 Change of Hearts, not including Change of Heart that it could play. And then there's Triple Tactic Thrust, that essentially searches every single spell card inside of your deck. Sky Striker could be a very powerful going second deck with tons of utility. Now, Engage isn't just any one extra card, it does add consistency to the deck. But the problem with Sky Striker is that if you're not a specialized player, there are a ton of micro mistakes that you can make that will bite you in the long run. It's a deck that not only requires incredible skill, most of the top players are in jail because of what happened with Chris Hansen just recently. Editor, don't put that in. Put it in. Sky Striker will have an easier time breaking boards because cards like Baron de Fleur and Borreload Savage Dragon don't exist. But having just one additional card off the ban list doesn't help this deck as much as it does to Heroes. Heroes go crazy, my boy. Baby! Where is my super suit? She don't know where my super suit is. This is why I'm getting a divorce. That one copy of Destiny Hero Militias that just came off the list is amazing for Heroes. Not only does it increase the consistency of you drawing it, which ironically it's a card you want to draw, it also allows hero players to put an additional body on their side of the field to be able to tribute summon for their best monster, Destiny Hero Plasma. Destiny Hero Plasma is a one-sided skill drain that can not only snatch up the opponent's best monsters, it also can become a really choky boy. Hey yo, no diddy though to that whole thing I just said. And with the threat of Omni Negations no longer being present, heroes are going to have a far easier time dealing with monsters like Appaloosa Bold the Goddess going second, as opposed to Baron and Borreload. It also fixes a little bit of the consistency issue that heroes had, wanting to play more Destiny Hero monsters, but not having the correct Destiny Hero monsters to play. Malicious easily slots into that spot right there, and if you want to check out a deck profile that's pretty much built for this particular meta, go ahead and check out my last hero profile. All you got to do is take out that extra Destiny Hero Denier, put the Malicious in, and you cook it. Heroes are easily one of the decks that I am most excited for, but a deck that everyone knows me for because it is the strategy that I have the most regional wins with, is Sword Soul. My guy, it's Sword Soul, my buddy. Now on paper, Sword Soul may have seemed like it lost a step losing Baron de Fleur, but I ain't gonna lie. The real OG Sword Soul players, he wasn't summoning that card anyways. Bro, we was making Sinister Sovereign Long Yuan because we greedy, we like to draw cards, and it gets rid of 2 threats. I also think that Sword Soul has put itself in probably one of the best positions in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you guys did not know, Sword Soul is almost immune to hand traps. There is not a singular hand trap in the game that can always guarantee a hit to Sword Soul. Some of the most powerful board clearing cards in the game belong to the Worm archetype. Boxia allows you to be able to spend 2 cards and then can get you more resources, but we have not talked about the card of the hour, Arch Nemesis Protoss. I'm going to the dark side. There was a point in time where I thought that you did not need to play Protoss in Sword Soul, but now since the stars have aligned and Snake Eyes is a pure fire deck, we gonna let them burn. Sword Soul is undisputably the best deck to play Protoss. Not only can it easily be used to clear boards when going second, it can also be used to prevent your opponent from ever setting up. There just so happens to be some easy fire, light, or dark monsters that you can sacrifice for Protoss to make sure your opponent never plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, especially if they're playing tier 1. And the best thing about Sword Soul is that it is just simply a cheap Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. You can even check out my updated deck profile of Sword Soul to be able to get some pointers on what you can do with it. But lastly, big dog, there is a strategy that I think is better than all the others, and I don't think you'll see it coming. This strategy is adorable. Pearly was already a deck that was doing really well and struggled with cards like Baron de Fleur and Borreload Savage Dragon, and now is in an interesting spot because it got support with Pearly Delicious Memory and now no longer has to contend with those type of cards. If you guys don't remember why Delicious Memory was hit, it was because the deck was too easily making X Pearly War, a true boss monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's unaffected by card effects, but more importantly, can spin cards on the field and graveyard. It's an excellent disruption tool to be able to stop some of the top decks in the game. Think Flow, Snake Eyes, and all of the other decks that I mentioned. And also, there was another sneaky hit that just so happened to have happened. Anti-Spell Fragrance Limited. This did give support to decks like Sky Striker, but I think Pearly even better because it's a modernized version of Sky Striker that can summon a huge boss monster that is incredibly hard to get rid of. And when you do, you just gave them more resources. And that's all that I have for the next meta Yu-Gi-Oh decks off of the ban list. I know for a fact there are some strategies you want to tell me about. So of course, big dog, go ahead and let us know down below in the comment section, but also be sure to do what I told you. Like the video, buy the merch, and check out these other videos so I can catch you on the next one.